Welcome to TT-Buddhism, your sanctuary for wisdom, mindfulness, and inner peace. Our mission is to share the timeless teachings of Buddhism, helping you cultivate self-awareness, clarity, and true happiness in your daily life. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the noise, constantly seeking approval, fearing rejection, and worrying about others' opinions. But what if you could break free? What if you could live with complete peace, no longer controlled by external expectations? Buddhism teaches us that true strength and serenity come from within. By focusing on yourself, letting go of unnecessary worries, and embracing your inner power, you can transform your life. In this video, we'll explore 10 powerful Buddhist lessons to help you release external pressures, cultivate self-reliance, and find lasting peace. Are you ready to embark on this journey of self-discovery? Let's begin. Which lesson resonates with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more wisdom from TT-Buddhism. 1. True happiness comes from within. Stop relying on others. One of the greatest teachings of Buddhism is that peace and happiness originate from within, not from external sources. The Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without." This means that true happiness does not depend on what others say or do. It is something you cultivate within yourself. Many people rely on external validation for their happiness. They seek approval from others, crave recognition, and feel disappointed when they don't receive it. But this dependence on others only leads to emotional instability, because no one can fulfill your happiness all the time. If your joy depends on external factors, relationships, achievements, or material possessions, you will always be vulnerable to suffering. Buddhism teaches us to shift our focus inward. Instead of seeking happiness in the outside world, practice self-awareness, gratitude, and contentment with what you already have. By appreciating the present moment and developing inner peace, you create a foundation of happiness that no one can take away from you. Reflect. Do you often seek approval to feel happy? How can you cultivate happiness from within? Share your thoughts in the comments. 2. Don't fear solitude. It's where you find true strength. In today's world, many people fear being alone, associating solitude with loneliness or isolation. However, Buddhism teaches that solitude is not something to avoid. It is a source of great inner power. The Buddha said, "Meditate, live purely, be quiet, do your work with mastery." This wisdom reminds us that spending time alone allows us to reflect, grow, and connect with our true selves. When you are constantly surrounded by distractions, social media, external noise, or the opinions of others, you rarely get the chance to deeply understand yourself. But when you embrace solitude, you gain the space to meditate, self-reflect, and develop emotional strength. Instead of seeking comfort from others, you learn to be your own best companion. Being alone doesn't mean being lonely. It means creating time for self-discovery, inner peace, and spiritual growth. Many enlightened beings, including monks and great philosophers, have found wisdom in solitude. By stepping away from external distractions, you cultivate a sense of clarity and purpose. How do you feel about spending time alone? Have you ever experienced personal growth through solitude? Share your thoughts in the comments. 3. Stop seeking approval from others. Your own validation is enough. Many people spend their lives chasing approval from others, believing that their worth is determined by external validation. However, Buddhism teaches that true confidence and self-worth come from within. The Buddha said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." This means that the only approval you truly need is your own. When you constantly seek validation through compliments, social media likes, or acceptance from others, you give away control over your emotions. Your happiness becomes dependent on external factors, making you vulnerable to disappointment and self-doubt. Instead of relying on others to make you feel worthy, practice self-love, self-acceptance, and self-respect. Recognize that you are enough just as you are. When you validate yourself, you build a strong foundation of confidence that is unshakable, regardless of what others think. True freedom comes when you stop trying to meet others' expectations and start living authentically. The more you approve of yourself, the less you need external validation, allowing you to live with peace and clarity. Have you ever struggled with seeking approval? How do you practice self-compassion? Share your thoughts in the comments. 4. Don't let rejection break you. See it as redirection. Rejection is an inevitable part of life, but it does not define your worth. Too often people take rejection personally, allowing it to discourage them and damage their self-esteem. However, Buddhism teaches us to see rejection not as a failure, but as an opportunity for growth and redirection. The Buddha said, "In the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you." Instead of feeling defeated when you experience rejection, try to view it from a different perspective. Sometimes, rejection is simply life's way of guiding you towards something better, whether it's a new opportunity, a different path, or personal growth. Holding on to rejection with resentment only brings suffering, while letting go with grace brings peace. The key is to cultivate resilience and acceptance. By understanding that rejection is not a reflection of your value, but rather a natural part of life's journey, you free yourself from unnecessary pain. Move forward with confidence, knowing that every closed door is leading you towards something greater. How do you handle rejection? Have you ever experienced growth after being rejected? Share your experience in the comments. 5. Stop worrying about what others think. Focus on your own path. One of the biggest sources of anxiety is worrying about what others think of us. Many people allow the opinions of others to shape their actions, limit their potential, and even dictate their happiness. However, Buddhism teaches that other people's judgments reflect them more than they reflect you. The Buddha said, "Let none find fault with others. Let none see the omissions and commissions of others, but let one see one's own acts, done and undone." People's opinions are constantly changing, and trying to meet their expectations is an endless cycle that leads to stress and dissatisfaction. The truth is, you cannot control how others perceive you, but you can control how you see yourself. Instead of seeking approval or fearing criticism, focus on your own growth, values, and personal journey. When you stop worrying about what others think, you experience true freedom. You become more authentic, make decisions with clarity, and live according to your own truth rather than external pressures. The more you focus inward, the less power others' opinions have over you, allowing you to cultivate peace and confidence. Do you often worry about how others see you? How can you shift your focus to your own path? Share your thoughts in the comments. 6. Don't sacrifice your peace to please others. Many people fall into the habit of trying to please everyone around them. Whether it's at work, with friends, or in their family, they bend over backward to meet others' expectations, often at the cost of their own well-being. However, no matter how hard you try, you can never fully satisfy everyone. This constant effort to please others only leads to stress, exhaustion, and a loss of personal peace. The Buddha wisely taught, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." Buddhism encourages compassion and kindness, but not at the expense of your inner balance. There is a difference between being kind and completely sacrificing your peace for others. When you constantly prioritize others while neglecting yourself, you become emotionally drained, resentful, and disconnected from your own needs. It's important to find balance. Set healthy boundaries and recognize that it is okay to say no. By protecting your peace, you become a stronger and more authentic version of yourself, able to help others without losing yourself in the process. Have you ever struggled with people-pleasing? How do you maintain your inner peace while helping others? Share your thoughts in the comments. 7. Focus on what you can control: yourself. One of the main causes of stress and frustration in life is trying to control things that are beyond our power. We want people to behave a certain way, situations to unfold exactly as we imagine, and outcomes to always align with our expectations. However, Buddhism teaches that clinging to what we cannot control only leads to suffering. The Buddha said, "Rule your mind, or it will rule you." The truth is, you cannot control how others think, act, or feel. But you can control yourself. You have power over your thoughts, your actions, and your responses. When you shift your focus from trying to change external circumstances to mastering your own mind, you gain control over your own happiness. Instead of worrying about how others behave, ask yourself, how can I respond with wisdom and calmness? How can I improve myself rather than change others? How can I find peace within, regardless of external chaos? By focusing on what you can control, your own habits, thoughts, and emotions, you build resilience and inner strength. The moment you accept that others' actions are not your responsibility, you reclaim your personal power. Have you ever wasted energy trying to control things outside your power? How do you practice focusing on yourself instead? Share your thoughts in the comments. 8. Realize that people are focused on their own lives. Many people live with the constant fear of being judged by others. They hesitate to express themselves, take risks, or follow their true desires because they assume everyone is watching and evaluating them. However, Buddhism teaches that most people are too occupied with their own lives to focus on yours. The Buddha said, "The truth is, people are primarily concerned with their own problems, dreams, and struggles. They may briefly notice you, but their attention quickly returns to their own lives." Realizing this can be incredibly liberating. When you stop worrying about how others perceive you, you gain the freedom to live authentically, take risks, and follow your own path without fear. Instead of holding yourself back due to imaginary judgment, shift your focus inward. What truly matters to you? What brings you joy and fulfillment? When you start living for yourself instead of the expectations of others, you will feel a newfound sense of peace and confidence. Have you ever avoided doing something because you feared judgment? How did you overcome it? Share your experience in the comments. 9. Don't get caught up in social comparison. One of the biggest traps in life is comparing yourself to others, whether it's their success, appearance, or happiness. Social media has made this even worse, as we constantly see curated highlights of other people's lives, making us feel like we are falling behind. However, Buddhism teaches that comparison is a form of attachment that leads to suffering. The Buddha said, "Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship." When you compare yourself to others, you focus on what you lack rather than appreciating what you already have. This creates feelings of envy, frustration, and self-doubt. The truth is, everyone is on their own unique path, and what works for one person may not be right for you. Instead of measuring your life against others, practice gratitude and mindfulness. Recognize your own progress, strengths, and achievements. True fulfillment doesn't come from outdoing others, but from living in alignment with your own values and purpose. Have you ever struggled with social comparison? How do you practice gratitude and contentment? Share your thoughts in the comments. 10. Prioritize your inner growth over external validation. In today's world, many people seek external validation, whether through approval from family, recognition at work, or likes and comments on social media. They measure their worth based on how others perceive them. However, Buddhism teaches that true peace and fulfillment come from within, not from external praise. The Buddha said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." When you constantly seek validation from others, you become trapped in an endless cycle of needing approval. No matter how much recognition you receive, it will never be enough because external validation is temporary and unreliable. One moment you may feel valued, but the next you may feel ignored. This leads to insecurity and dissatisfaction. Instead of chasing approval, focus on your personal growth, self-awareness, and inner peace. The more you develop mindfulness and self-acceptance, the less you rely on others to feel worthy. True confidence comes from knowing who you are and being content with yourself, regardless of outside opinions. Do you often seek external validation? How can you shift your focus toward inner growth? Share your thoughts in the comments. Conclusion: focus on yourself and find true peace. In a world filled with distractions, external pressures, and constant comparisons, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters: your own growth, peace, and happiness. Buddhism teaches that by focusing on yourself, letting go of unnecessary worries, and embracing inner wisdom, you can find true freedom. These 10 powerful lessons remind us that happiness comes from within, not from external approval. When you stop seeking validation, fearing rejection, and comparing yourself to others, you gain the strength to live authentically. By prioritizing your inner peace, practicing mindfulness, and staying true to your path, you cultivate a life of clarity, confidence, and fulfillment. At TT-Buddhism, our mission is to share timeless Buddhist wisdom that helps you navigate life with peace and purpose. We hope these teachings inspire you to embrace self-growth and live without fear of judgment. Thank you for watching and being part of our journey. Your support means everything to us. Which lesson resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Buddhist wisdom from TT-Buddhism.